Listen to me. Every single person in this room has the power to become unstoppable. But the problem is, most people stop at the first sign of pain, at the first moment of discomfort, at the first taste of failure. You talk about wanting success, but when life hits you, you forget your purpose. You forget your why. You forget that pain is the price you pay for greatness. See, I learned this the hard way. Sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans, watching the world move while I had nothing. But I made a decision, not a wish, not a hope. A decision that I would never stop until I became everything I was created to be. That's the unstoppable mindset. An unstoppable mindset doesn't mean you don't fall. It means you never stay down. It means when life says you can, you reply, oh, watch me. It's waking up every single morning with fire in your chest and vision in your heart. It's knowing that discipline will take you places motivation never can. The unstoppable don't look for comfort. They look for challenge. The unstoppable don't wait for opportunity. They create it. The unstoppable don't fear failure. They fear regret. And when people doubt them, that doubt becomes fuel. You have to understand something. The difference between people who win and those who don't isn't talent. It's not luck. It's mindset. You can have the best plan, the best skill, the best degree, but if your mind isn't locked in, if your spirit isn't all in, you're finished before you even start. Let me tell you something. The world will test you. The dream will test you. And when it does, you better look back at your pain, your scars, your rejections, and say, this is my training ground. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every failure is a blessing in disguise. And every delay is a setup for a greater comeback. So I need you to decide right now, no matter what happens, I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not quit. I will not give up. Because success is not for the talented, it's for the relentless. And when the world sees you keep pushing, when they see you rise again and again, you become a testimony that no circumstance can destroy a purpose-driven soul. That's the unstoppable mindset. It's not about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about being the one who refuses to stop. Pain is the price you pay for greatness. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to reach the top. But the moment pain shows up, most people fold. The moment life hits, they back down. They say they want success, but they don't want to feel the burn that comes with it. Listen to me. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your entry fee. Every dream, every goal, every victory you've ever admired came with a price tag, and that price is pain. You can't pray it away. You can't avoid it. And you can't cheat your way around it. If you want to become someone extraordinary, you got to be willing to pay that cost in full. You see, when I was sleeping in abandoned buildings, when I was eating out of trash can, I didn't have a choice but to deal with pain. I didn't have money. I didn't have money. Have support. I didn't have anything but my will to fight. And I realized something powerful. Pain was the only thing that could shape me into the man I was meant to become. It wasn't comfort that built my character. It was struggle. It was nights I cried, days I wanted to quit, moments when I felt invisible. That pain, that's what molded me. That's what gave me strength. Pain taught me resilience, patience, and discipline. And I learned that greatness doesn't come from what you do when it's easy. Greatness is born in the fire of discomfort. In the moments you think you can't go any further, but you take one more step anyway. Too many people run from pain and then wonder why their lives never change. You can't run from the very thing that's trying to prepare you for your destiny. You say you want to be strong, but you don't want to lift the weight. You say you want success, but you don't want to sacrifice. You can't have the reward without the resistance. The process hurts because it's stretching you into a new version of yourself. The old you can't carry the blessings the new you is supposed to handle. So every time you feel pain, remind yourself, this is growth. This is transformation. This is me evolving into something greater. Pain is proof that you're in the game. It means you're fighting, you're trying, you're still in pursuit. The ones who never feel pain are the ones who never take a risk, never step out, never try to build something worth having. You got to shift your perspective. Stop asking why is this happening to me? And start asking what is this teaching me? Because pain is always a teacher, and the lessons it gives you are worth more than gold. It teaches humility when you fall, courage when you're afraid, patience when things take longer than expected, and faith when nothing seems to make sense. Every tear, every setback, every heartbreak is building a version of you that no one can break. I'm telling you, if you want to be unstoppable, you got to learn how to suffer with purpose. You can't just go through pain, you got to grow through it. The average person lets pain break them. The greats use pain to build them. You think Michael Jordan didn't feel pain when he was cut from the high school team? You think Kobe didn't feel pain after losing the finals? You think Serena didn't feel pain training every single day while the world doubted her? The difference is they turned that pain into fuel. They didn't let it paralyze them. They let it push them. That's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The ability to use pain as power. Let me make this clear. Pain is not permanent, but quitting is. The moment you give up, that pain wins. That's what pain wants. It wants to convince you that it's not worth it, that you're not strong enough, that your dream isn't realistic. But if you push through, if you hold on, that same pain becomes your proof. It becomes the story that inspires others. You've got to understand that what you're going through now isn't punishment. It's preparation. Life is not breaking you, it's building you. You're being tested because what's ahead of you requires a different level of strength, focus, and belief. Sometimes pain will isolate you. You'll feel like nobody understands what you're going through. But listen, isolation is not always a bad. When you're isolated, that's where you find your power. That's where you hear your inner voice. That's where you stop depending on people and start depending on people and start depending on your purpose. Pain strips away the noise, the distractions, the fake relationships, and leaves you with clarity. You start to see what really matters. You start to appreciate the small things. You begin to realize that everything you need to rise is already inside of you. Pain doesn't destroy you. It reveals you. Man, so cute. The problem with too many people is that they want to heal without hurting. They want to grow without grinding. They want success without sacrifice. It doesn't work like that. The universe will always demand a payment before it gives you a reward. That payment is your struggle, your effort, your long nights, your doubt, your discipline. You've got to be willing to stay in the fight even when you can't see the results. That's when champions are made, not when the crowd is cheering, but when no one's watching. When it's just you, your dream, and your pain. That's where the transformation happens. I remember times when I wanted to quit speaking. Nobody was listening, nobody believed, and I felt like maybe I was chasing something impossible. But then I remembered pain is the price. If it were easy, everybody would do it. If success came without struggle, nobody would value it. So I kept pushing, I kept grinding, and eventually that pain turned into purpose. Every hardship became part of my message. Every failure became part of my testimony. And now I look back and realize I couldn't have become the man I am without the pain that tried to destroy me. You got to stop avoiding the hard days. You got to stop looking for shortcuts. The pain you feel today will produce the strength you need tomorrow. It's the gym of your mind, the training ground of your spirit. Every challenge builds your endurance. Every trial increases your capacity. Pain is not meant to punish you. It's meant to prepare you for what's next. The process is painful because the promise is powerful. You can't handle the reward until you've proven you can survive the test. So when you wake up tired, when your dreams feel far away, when your plan seems like it's falling apart, don't run from it. Face it. Tell yourself, this pain is temporary, but my purpose is forever. Keep going even when it hurts. Keep pushing even when you don't see results. Every step you take through pain is a step closer to your breakthrough. You're not suffering in vain. You're investing in your future self. When you look back years from now, you'll realize that the pain that once broke you became the foundation of your strength. The same storm that made you cry will be the reason you can smile. Because pain transforms you into someone unrecognizable, stronger, wiser, more focused. You'll start to thank the struggle. You'll start to appreciate the grind. Because without the pain, there's no purpose. Without the hardship, there is no hunger. Without the fight, there is no fire. The pain of discipline will always be less than the pain of regret. So choose your pain wisely. You can suffer now and live the rest of your life strong, or you can quit now and spend your life wondering what could have been. Every time you endure pain for your dream, you are proving to the universe that you're serious, that you're ready, that you're worthy. So don't you dare give up when it hurts. Don't you dare stop when it's uncomfortable. Push through it, embrace it. Because pain is not your punishment, it's your promotion. And when you finally make it, when you reach that mountaintop, the pain will make sense. You'll realize it wasn't breaking you, it was building you into the person capable of standing there. That's the truth nobody tells you. Greatness doesn't feel good in the process. It hurts, it burns, it tests every part of you. But when you refuse to quit, when you accept pain as part of the journey, you become unstoppable. Because there's nothing left the world can throw at you that you haven't already survived. So remember this. Pain is the price you pay for greatness. Stop running from it. Face it, learn from it, grow through it. Let it shape you into the person your dream demands you to be. Because once you learn how to turn pain into power, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. Don't just want it, decide you'll have it. That's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants something. Everybody talks about what they wish they could have, what they hope would happen, what they like to become, or if people ever decide. Desire is emotional. Decision is intentional. Desire is wishing. Decision is action. You can't build a legacy on feelings. You can't build greatness on a maybe. You have to make a decision so firm that no storm, no rejection, no delay can shake it. The moment you decide, truly decide, everything changes. Most people live their whole lives wanting things, but never committing to them. They want success, but they also want comfort. They want growth, but they also want ease. They want to be disciplined, but they also want to be entertained. You can't have both. You have to decide what matters more. When I was homeless, I wanted a better life, but it didn't happen until I decided I would not live like that another day. It wasn't just talk. It was a decision that changed everything about how I moved, how I thought, how I spoke, and how I worked. See, a decision is not something you make with your mouth. It's something you make with your actions. When you decide, you burn the ships. You close the door on every excuse, every distraction, every backup plan. Decision means commitment, even when motivation disappears. Decision means showing up when it's hard, staying disciplined when no one's clapping, and believing when everything around you says, give up. That's the power of a made-up mind. The problem with most people is they think wanting is enough. They confuse interest with commitment. Being interested means you'll do it when it's convenient. You'll do it when it's convenient. Being committed means you'll do it even when it's painful. When you decide, you remove a tribe from your vocabulary. You stop saying, I'll see what happens. You start saying, I'll make it happen. There's a different energy that comes from decision. It gives you clarity. It gives you purpose. It turns chaos into focus. When you truly decide, your mind stops negotiating with fear and starts collaborating with faith. Look, you can't keep saying you want to be successful and keep sleeping in. You can't keep saying you want to be fit and keep eating like you don't care. You can't keep saying you want to change your life, but keep doing the same things that broke it. At some point, you got to draw a line in the sand and say, enough. You got to decide that you will not stop until you see results, because decision changes everything. Decision is the moment your dream becomes a plan and your plan becomes a reality. I remember people used to tell me, Eric, you talk too much about success. You're obsessed. And I said, you're right, because I decided. I made up my mind that I would never go back to who I was. I made up my mind that I would outwork every obstacle, outlast every setback, and outgrow every limitation. See, when you decide, obsession becomes your friend. You start to see what others can't see, what others can't see. You start to move different. You wake up early, you go harder, you stay later, because you've already chosen your direction. There's no turning back. That's the thing about decision. It changes your identity. When you decide, you no longer identify as a victim. You stop blaming, stop complaining, stop waiting for someone to save you. You become responsible for your life. You understand that nobody's coming to hand you success. You gotta go get it. And that decision makes you powerful. Because the moment you take ownership of your journey, you take control of your destiny. People think decision is a one-time thing. It's not. You don't just decide once, you decide every single day. You wake up and choose your purpose over your comfort. You choose discipline over distraction. You choose your future over your feelings. Every morning is a decision to keep becoming the person your dream demands. That's what separates the winners from the watchers, daily decisions. Let me tell you something. Desire feels good. It's emotional. It's easy to talk about what you want when you're motivated, when you're inspired, when things are going right. But decision doesn't care about emotions. Decision stands when the excitement fades. Decision is when it's cold, dark, and lonely, and you still show up. Decision is when the results are slow, and you still believe. Decision is when everyone else gives up, and you keep going. That's when greatness begins. Desire is cheap, but decision is expensive. Desire costs you nothing. Decision costs you everything. When you decide, you sacrifice comfort, time, relationships, and sometimes even sleep. But that's the price of excellence. You can't halfway decide. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. The universe doesn't reward confusion. The moment you go all in, the moment you commit with your entire heart, doors start to open. People show up. Opportunities appear. Because decision creates movement. It creates momentum. It creates energy that attracts everything you've been praying for. But too many people hesitate. They wait for perfect conditions, perfect timing, perfect confidence. Let me tell you, there's no such thing. You don't wait until you're ready to decide. You decide, and then you get ready. You don't wait for the path to be clear. You create the path by walking. You don't need a guarantee. You need faith. Decision is faith in action. It's saying, I may not have it all figured out, but I'm not staying where I am. When I decided to change my life, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have resources. I didn't have money, but I had a made-up mind. And that's more powerful than any circumstance. Because when you decide, your brain stops seeing problems and starts finding solutions. Your heart starts burning with purpose. The universe starts rearranging itself to align with your determination. That's why decision is the most powerful force on earth. It moves everything in your favor. Some of you are one decision away from changing your life, one decision away from freedom, from peace, from success. But you keep hesitating because you're afraid of failing. Listen to me. Not deciding is worse than failing, because at least failure teaches you something. Hesitation keeps you stuck. You can recover from failure, but you can't recover from never trying. You can rebuild after mistakes, but you can't rebuild time wasted waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. Every great story started with a decision. Every champion, every innovator, every leader had a moment where they said, I'm done playing small. They didn't know how it would happen. They just decided it would. That decision pulled them forward. That decision carried them through the pain, through the rejection, through the long nights. Because once you decide, quitting is no longer an option. You've already chosen a destination. Now you just keep walking until you get there. Decision gives you power. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's choice. The choice to keep going, the choice to believe, the choice to act even when you're scared. You need a perfect background. You need a perfect decision. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need to agree with yourself. When you finally decide, you silence every doubt in your head and every voice that ever told you you can. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the work, it's the decision to begin. But once you decide, the work becomes automatic because your mind shifts from if to how. You stop wondering if it's possible and start figuring out how to make it possible. You stop dreaming and start doing. You stop wishing for signs and start becoming one. That's what decision does. It transforms dreamers into doers. And let me tell you this, once you make that decision, protect it with everything you have. People will try to talk you out of it. Life will test it. Fear will whisper that you made a mistake. But if you hold on, if you keep reminding yourself of why you started, that decision will become your anchor. It will keep you grounded through storms and focused through noise. You got to fight for your decision every single day until it becomes your reality. One day, you'll look back and realize that your entire life changed the moment you decided. Not when you got lucky, not when someone helped you, but when you looked at your reflection and said, enough. I'm done wishing, I'm done waiting, I'm done doubting, I'm going all in. That's the moment everything starts to shift. Because once you make that decision, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. So stop wishing and start deciding. Stop wishing and start deciding. Stop hoping and start committing. Stop dreaming and start doing. Because desire gets you started, but decision gets you finished. The world doesn't reward the ones who want it the most. It rewards the ones who decide to never stop until they get it. Once your mind is made up, your path becomes unstoppable. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation feels good, it sounds good, it looks good, but it doesn't last. Motivation is an emotion. It comes and it goes. Discipline, though, is a decision. It's built brick by brick through consistency, through sacrifice, through doing what has to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Most people wait to feel ready. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect mood, the perfect inspiration. But let me tell you, if you wait for motivation, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The people who win, the ones you admire, they're not the ones who are always excited. They're the ones who are always consistent. There are days when you wake up tired, when your body aches, when your mind tells you to quit. Motivation won't help you then. You'll look at your goals, you'll look at your dreams, and they'll seem far away. That's when discipline steps in. Discipline says, I don't care how you feel. We have work to do. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. Discipline doesn't negotiate with laziness. It shows up, it executes, and it delivers. Motivation whispers, discipline commands. That's the difference. When I was grinding to get out of the streets, I didn't feel motivated every day. There were days I was broken, tired, hungry, and alone. There were nights I cried, asking God why it was so hard. But I showed up anyway. I spoke even when no one listened. I worked even when nobody believed. Because I understood something most people never will. Your feelings don't build your future. Your habits do. You can't depend on motivation. You have to depend on your discipline. Discipline is what makes you go to the gym when you're tired. It's what makes you study when everyone else is partying. It's what makes you save money instead of spending it. It's what makes you practice when you've already failed 100 times. Discipline is not about how you feel in the moment. It's about what you've decided to commit to for the long term. Every successful person you've ever seen is a product of disciplined habits repeated over time. The truth is, motivation can get you started, but it can't keep you there. Think about it. How many people get excited on January 1st about their resolutions? The gyms are full, the plans are made, the energy is high. But by February, half of them are gone. Why? Because motivation wore off. The hype faded. Life got hard, distractions came. Excuses showed up. That's where discipline separates the dreamers from the doers. Discipline says, I don't care what month it is. I'm still locked in. See, discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's doing what's necessary even when it's inconvenient. It's staying focused on your vision even when it's blurry. The reason so many people fail is because they think they need to feel good to do good. But champions know better. They don't wait to feel it. They do it. And eventually the feeling catches up. You can't rely on emotion. You have to rely on execution. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices, your feelings or your future. Most people pick feelings. They hit snooze, they skip the gym, they procrastinate, and they wonder why their life doesn't move. But those who move, choose their future. They get up, they grind, they push through pain. That's the mindset of discipline. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous. It's quiet, it's repetitive, and it's powerful. Discipline doesn't shout, it builds. Let me tell you this, discipline is love. It's loving yourself enough to do what's right for you, even when it's hard. Motivation makes you talk about change. Discipline creates change. Motivation makes promises. Discipline keeps them. Discipline means showing up for yourself when no one else will. It means doing the small, boring things over and over until they produce big results. Most people want excitement, but discipline is about endurance. You have to train your mind to obey your purpose, not your emotions. Your emotions change every hour, but your purpose stays the same. You can't let your feelings be the driver. They'll crash you every time. Discipline takes the wheel and says, we're going to the destination no matter how rough the road gets. The greats in every field understand this. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, they all have one thing in common, relentless discipline. They don't stop because they're tired. They stop because they're done. When you start living with discipline, people will think you're crazy. They'll say you're obsessed, too serious, too focused. But you've got to understand something. Average people will never understand disciplined people because discipline exposes their excuses. When you show consistency, you remind others of what they're not doing. So don't let their opinions shake your focus. Keep your eyes on the mission. Because at the end of the day, results speak louder than opinions. Discipline is not built overnight. is built through repetition. Every time you say no to temptation, you strengthen your will. Every time you stay consistent, you build momentum. Every time you push through when it hurts, you grow stronger. Discipline is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The first time you wake up early is hard. The 10th time it's easier. The 100th time it's automatic. That's the beauty of discipline. It eventually turns hard work into habit. You've got to stop waiting to be inspired and start creating structure. Discipline thrives in structure. Set your goals, plan your day, control your time. Don't let life happen to you. Take command of your schedule. Successful people don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. They build routines that make discipline easier than distraction. They make the right choice so easy that it becomes the new normal. That's how you build a lifestyle that aligns with your vision. Listen, discipline will cost you now, but lack of discipline will cost you forever. Discipline costs time, effort, sacrifice. Sacrifice discipline costs your dreams, your peace, your potential. You'll pay a price either way, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is, one pain makes you stronger, the other makes you weaker. So when you're tempted to quit, remind yourself which pain you'd rather live with. There will be days when discipline feels heavy, when you're exhausted, when it feels like you're not making progress. Discipline doesn't guarantee success overnight, but it guarantees progress. It's like compound interest. It grows over time. You won't see the reward immediately, but every day you stay consistent, every day you choose discipline. You're planting seeds that will one day grow into a harvest. When you talk about the unstoppable mindset, there's one truth that separates dreamers from doers. Unstoppable people embrace failure. Most people run from it. They see failure as a sign to quit, as proof that they're not good enough. But those who become legends, the ones who change their lives and the world, they look failure right in the eye and say, "You're not my enemy, you're my teacher." That's the difference between average and great. The average person avoids pain. The unstoppable one grows through it. The average person hides from mistakes. The unstoppable one studies them. Every failure carries a lesson. Every setback holds a secret that can only be unlocked by those willing to keep going when everything in them wants to stop. You have to understand something. Failure isn't final. It's feedback. It's not the end of your story. It's just a chapter that's preparing you for the next one. When you look at every great success story, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, none of them made it without falling, without breaking, without stumbling along the way. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Steve Jobs got fired from his own company. Eric Thomas was homeless before he became one of the most powerful motivational speakers on the planet. They didn't just survive failure, they used it. They turned every no into fuel. They took rejection and made it the reason they worked harder. That's what you have to do. Because when you see failure not as a wall, but as a bridge, that's when your life changes forever. See, most people let failure define them. They think one mistake means they're done. They let that pain sit inside them until it becomes regret. But you, if you're serious about being unstoppable, you have to rewire your relationship with failure. You have to say, this pain, this disappointment, it's not here to destroy me. It's here to develop me. The greatest version of you doesn't come out when things are easy. It comes out when you're broken, tired, and ready to give up. And you still show up anyway. You still push, you still grind, you still believe that there's more in you. That's where champions are born. That's where destiny is forged. You have to learn how to fail forward. Every time life knocks you down, get back up stronger. Every time something doesn't go your way, ask yourself, what did I learn? Because when you learn from failure, it loses its power over you. The pain starts to become purpose. The mistakes start to become wisdom. And you stop fearing what could go wrong because you've already survived worse. That's what an unstoppable mindset looks like. It's when failure no longer breaks you, it builds you. Think about it. If you never failed, you never grow. If everything worked out perfectly, you'd never develop resilience. You'd never learn patience. You'd never learn how to fight when things get hard. Every challenge is shaping something in you that success can't. Success doesn't teach you how to endure. Failure does. Success doesn't show you who your real friends are. Failure does. Success doesn't reveal your character. Failure does. That's why you can't run from it. You can't be afraid of the moments that hurt, because every scar has a story, and that story becomes your strength. When you fail, you're not losing, you're learning. Every time you try it doesn't work, you're closer to what will. But the problem is, most people quit before they reach that breakthrough. They give up right before life rewards their persistence. You can't do that. You can't stop because it's hard. You can't stop because it hurts. You can't stop because people don't believe in you. You gotta keep going, because every failure is bringing you one step closer to your moment. You gotta understand, the path to greatness is paved with failure. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to challenge you, break you, rebuild you. When you embrace failure, you become fearless. You stop worrying about what people think. You stop being afraid to try. You stop comparing yourself to others, because you realize that failure is just part of your personal process. And once you stop fearing failure, you start to live differently. You take bigger risks. You believe in yourself more. You chase dreams that scare you. You push beyond limits because you know that no matter what happens, you'll get back up. That's power. That's power. That's the unstoppable mindset. And let me be real with you, failure hurts. It's not fun. It's not glamorous. It's lonely. It can make you question everything. But that's exactly why it's valuable. Because when you go through that pain, you're being refined. Just like gold has to go through fire to shine, you have to go through failure to find your greatness. When life burns you, it's not to destroy you. It's to purify you. It's removing your excuses, your weaknesses, your fear, so that what's left is strong, pure, and unstoppable. So the next time you fail, don't hide from it. Face it, analyze it, own it. Take responsibility for it. Say, yes, I messed up. Yes, I fell short. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still fighting. Because that's what winners do. They don't run from failure. They grow through it. They don't see it as a dead end. They see it as a detour. They don't see it as a loss. They see it as a lesson. And every lesson makes them sharper, wiser, and hungrier. You got to build that mindset where failure becomes fuel. When you lose, let it light a fire inside you. Let it remind you why you started. Let it make you double down on your goals, because when you're unstoppable, failure doesn't slow you down. It pushes you forward. Every no becomes motivation. Every rejection becomes a reminder that you're still in the fight. Every disappointment becomes discipline. That's the transformation you need. To stop letting failure make you bitter and start letting it make you better. The truth is, the ones who win in life are not the most talented or the most intelligent. They're the ones who refuse to quit. They're the ones who keep showing up when others walk away. They're the ones who can fail 100 times and still believe that the next time might be the one. That's unstoppable. That's what separates champions from the crowd. It's not perfection. It's persistence, not luck. It's endurance. It's not about never falling. It's about never staying down. Every failure is part of your preparation. Every closed door is redirecting you to a better one. Every setback is setting you up for a comeback, but you have to believe that. You have to trust that even when you can't see progress, growth is happening beneath the surface. Sometimes God, life, or the universe has to break you to build you. Sometimes failure is the only way to make you hungry enough to reach higher. Sometimes the pain is the price of your potential. And when you understand that, you stop resenting failure. You start respecting it. So don't fear failure. Expect it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Grow through it. Because if you want to live an unstoppable life, you can't let fear of failing keep you from trying. The only real failure is quitting. Everything else is part of the process. You might fall 7 times, but if you rise 8, you win. You might lose today, but if you wake up tomorrow, ready to fight again, you're unstoppable. The mindset that says, I can't be broken, I can't be defeated, I can't be stopped, is the one that turns pain into power and failure into fuel for success. That's what it means to have an unstoppable mindset. It's not about being fearless, it's about facing your fears. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about mastering it. And when you finally understand that failure is not your enemy, it becomes your greatest advantage. Because while others quit at the first sign of trouble, you'll be the one still standing, still fighting, still believing. And in the end, you'll be the one who wins. When you build an unstoppable mindset, you must understand one truth. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going when motivation fades away. It's easy to show up when you feel inspired, when the music is loud, when the crowd is cheering. But what happens when no one is watching? What happens when you wake up tired, broken, and uninspired? That's where discipline steps in. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing don't feel like doing it. It's the difference between people who dream about success and people who achieve it. Because the ones who win aren't the ones who wait for the right mood. They're the ones who show up regardless of how they feel. Discipline is the invisible force behind every success story. It's what separates champions from the rest of the world. The athlete who wakes up at 4 a.m. to train when it's cold and dark doesn't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. The entrepreneur who grinds for years before seeing a single dollar of profit doesn't rely on inspiration. They rely on consistency. Discipline means you control your mind instead of letting your mind control you. It means you act according to your purpose, not your emotion. Because emotions will lie to you. Emotions will say, take it easy. Discipline will say, but do it anyway. Emotions will say, you've done enough. Discipline will say, oh, you can do more. You see, the people who live unstoppable lives have trained themselves to show up no matter what. They build habits so strong that quitting isn't an option. They don't need external validation. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They just get up and get it done. That's why discipline is the foundation of greatness. It's the daily repetition of effort that eventually builds results that look like miracles to others. People see the success, but not the sacrifice. They see the glory, but not the grind. They see the spotlight, but not the sleepless nights. But discipline knows the truth. Every small unseen act of effort is a brick in the wall of success. Think about the greatest athletes, the most successful leader, the most impactful creators. What they have in common is consistency. They don't stop when it's hard. They don't wait for things to get easier. They trust the process and keep putting in the work. That's what discipline does. It makes you immune to excuses. It gives you power over procrastination. It turns your goals into habits and your dreams into reality. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It only asks, so did you do what you said you would do? Discipline is self-respect. When you tell yourself you're going to do something and you follow through, you build trust with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your belief that you can rely on you. That's how confidence is built. Confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from evidence. Evidence that you've done the work, that you faced the discomfort, that you stayed committed when it was inconvenient. That's what creates real power. Because when you build a life on discipline, no one can take it away from you. You become unstoppable because your success no longer depends on circumstances. It depends on your consistency. You gotta understand, discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. People think discipline restricts them, but the truth is it liberates you. Discipline gives you control over your future. It gives you freedom from chaos, from doubt, from regret. The person who lives without discipline might enjoy short-term comfort, but they pay for it with long-term pain. The disciplined person endures short-term discomfort to earn long-term success. One day of laziness might feel good now, but it steals your progress. One day of discipline might hurt now, but it builds your legacy. You will never always be motivated, but you can always be disciplined. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you push yourself to do something uncomfortable, you're building resilience. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, you're teaching your brain that you can handle pressure. Over time, that becomes your new normal. Things that once felt impossible become automatic. Waking up early, staying focused, staying patient. It all becomes part of who you are. That's how the unstoppable mindset grows. One disciplined decision at a time. And let me be honest with you, discipline is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's repetitive. It's lonely. And it often feels boring. But that's exactly what makes it powerful. Because discipline doesn't rely on excitement. It relies on execution. The results that everyone admires come from routines that no one sees. The greatness that people talk about comes from habits that people overlook. You can't become unstoppable by doing things sometime. You become unstoppable by doing them every single day, especially on the days you don't want to. There will be days when you want to give up. There will be moments when your body is tired, your mind is drained, and your heart feels heavy. Discipline is what keeps you going in those moments. It reminds you of your why. It whispers, remember why you started. It tells you that the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. You can either suffer now from the effort, or you can suffer later from the regret of not trying. But make no mistake, both are painful. The difference is one leads to growth, the other leads to guilt. Choose the pain that pays off. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your greatness. It connects where you are to where you want to be. Without it, dreams stay dreams. But with it, you become dangerous. Dangerous to mediocrity, dangerous to excuses, dangerous to limitations. When you live with discipline, you don't need to be the most talented or the most gifted. You just need to be the most consistent. Because consistency beats intensity. Doing something well once doesn't change your life. Doing it well every day does. Look around. Most people quit when it gets uncomfortable. They start strong but don't finish. They give up when things don't go their way. But if you can be the one who stays committed, you'll automatically rise above the rest. Because discipline isn't common, and that's why success isn't either. Discipline requires sacrifice, giving up what you want now for what you want most. It requires saying no to distractions, no to excuses, no to comfort. It means being focused when others are unfocused, being patient when others are rushing, being relentless when others are resting. You have to treat discipline like a lifestyle, not a task. It's not something you do when it's convenient. It's who you are. It's in how you work, how you think, how you speak, how you carry yourself. When you live disciplined, you don't let small distractions pull you away from big goals. You move with purpose. You act with consistency. You live with control. That's the mindset that changes everything. Because once discipline becomes part of your identity, success becomes inevitable. Even when life throws you challenges, discipline gives you stability. It keeps you grounded when emotions are high. It keeps you focused when distractions come. It keeps you calm when chaos hits. That's why people with discipline win. Not because their path is easier, but because their focus is stronger. They know that discipline isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most and doing it well. It's about showing up with purpose even when progress feels invisible. At the end of the day, discipline is the ultimate act of self-love. Because when you discipline yourself, you're saying, I care enough about my future to do what's hard today. You're saying my purpose is more important than my comfort. That's love. That's respect. That's growth. And that's what makes you unstoppable. So when you wake up tomorrow and you don't feel like working, do it anyway. When the voice in your head says, rest a little longer, get up anyway. When your emotions say it's too hard, push anyway. Because every time you choose discipline over doubt, you take one more step toward greatness. And if you can master that, if you can train yourself to be consistent no matter how you feel, nothing in this world that can stop you. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what finishes the race. Motivation might inspire you for a moment, but discipline will carry you through a lifetime. Be the kind of person who doesn't need a reason to show up. You show up because it's who you are. You show up because your dream deserves your discipline. You show up because greatness is built one small, consistent choice at a time. That's the power of discipline. And that's the heartbeat of an unstoppable mindset. An unstoppable mindset isn't just about working hard. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does. Because at some point in your journey, you're going to find yourself alone. People will doubt you. They'll question your vision. They'll call your dreams unrealistic. You'll share your goals with them and they'll look at you like you've lost your mind. And in those moments, you'll have two choices. Let their doubt become your truth, or let your belief become your fire. Unstoppable people choose the second one. They understand that self-belief is not arrogance. It's awareness. It's knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and refusing to let the world convince you otherwise. When you believe in yourself, truly believe, something powerful happens. You stop seeking permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop depending on others to see your worth before you do. You begin to move differently. You start acting like you belong in the room, like you deserve the opportunity, like you already are the person you're working to become. Because belief is not just a feeling, it's an action. It's the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you show up. It's how you handle adversity when everything seems against you. That kind of belief is what builds momentum, and momentum is what makes you unstoppable. But here's the truth. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never doubt. Doubt will come. Fear will whisper in your ear. Failure will test your confidence. People will question your choices. Life will throw obstacles that make you wonder if you're on the right path. But belief isn't the absence of fear. It's the courage to keep going despite it. It's saying that I may not see the full picture, but I trust myself enough to take the next step. That's what faith in yourself looks like. It's not pretending to be fearless. It's choosing not to let fear make your decisions. When you look at every great person who ever made history, every champion, every innovator, every leader, they all had one thing in common. They believed in themselves before anyone else did. When nobody clapped for them, they clapped for themselves. When nobody believed in their dream, they carried it alone until the world had no choice but to notice. You can't expect people to support what they don't understand. Some people won't believe in your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And that means it's your responsibility to protect it, nurture it, and bring it to life, even when you're the only one who sees it. There will be times when life will test that belief. You'll fail, you'll make mistakes, you'll feel like you're not enough. That's when belief becomes the anchor that keeps you steady. Because if you don't believe in you, who will? You can have all the talent in the world, all the skill, all the resources, but without self-belief, you'll never use them to their fullest. Belief is what turns potential into performance. It's what turns I wish into I will. It's what transforms an ordinary person into an unstoppable force. You have to develop an inner voice that's louder than your doubts. You've got to be your own motivator. You've got to look in the mirror and say, I got this, even when everything in you says you don't. You have to speak life. You have to speak life into yourself when no one else is speaking it for you. That's not ego. That's self-leadership. Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you belief. You have to build it from the inside out, day by day, through action and repetition. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your belief grows. Every time you push through fear, your belief strengthens. Every time you get up after failing, your belief evolves. Belief is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a skill. And like any skill, it requires practice. You build belief by doing the hard things. By facing the fears you thought would break you. By showing up when you're unsure. By fighting through self-doubt until it loses its power. You don't become confident by avoiding challenges. You become confident by conquering them. Every victory, no matter how small, becomes proof that you can trust yourself. And the more proof you gather, the stronger your belief becomes. But the world will test that belief. It will throw criticism, rejection, failure, and setbacks your way. Some people will laugh at you. Some will walk away. Some will tell you to be unrealistic. But if you let their words define you, you've already lost. Because their opinion doesn't pay your bills, doesn't live your life, doesn't walk in your shoes. You can't let people who quit on their dreams talk you out of yours. When they say you can't, what they really mean is I couldn't. Don't carry the limitations. Carry your vision. Protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. You have to understand belief is the foundation of every great achievement. Before you can do anything extraordinary, you must first convince yourself that it's possible. If you believe it's possible, your brain finds a way. But if you believe it's impossible, your brain finds an excuse. That's how powerful your mind is. What you believe becomes what you create. So if you want to live an unstoppable life, you must first build an unstoppable belief. One that can't be shaken by opinions, failures, or fear. When you believe in yourself, you give yourself permission to try. And when you try, you give yourself a chance to win. You'll never know how powerful you are until you put yourself in situations that require your strength. You'll never know how far you can go until you step beyond what feels safe. Belief gives you that courage, the courage to take the leap, to take the risk, to take control of your destiny. Because when you truly believe, quitting is no longer an option. You might fall, you might struggle, but you'll never stop moving. There's something unbreakable about a person who believes in themselves. They can lose everything, money, support, opportunity, and still rise again. Because what's inside them is stronger than what's against them. That's the kind of belief you need, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances. The kind that says, even if it takes longer than I thought, even if I have to do it alone, even if no one claps, I'm still going to do it. That's not just belief. That's conviction. That's the fire that turns ordinary people into legends. You got to protect your belief like it's gold. Don't let negativity poison it. Don't let failure weaken it. Don't let other people's fear infect it. Feed your belief daily, through your habits, through your mindset, through the way you talk to yourself. Because belief dies in a negative environment. It thrives in a mind that's focused on growth. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your greatness, not your limits. Speak words that build you up, not break you down. Do things every day that prove you're capable, even in small ways. That's how you keep the flame of belief alive. Belief doesn't mean you'll always know how. It means you'll figure it out. It means you'll find a way, even when the way isn't clear. That's the energy of an unstoppable mindset. The unshakable conviction that no matter what happens, you will find a path forward. You might stumble, you might struggle, but you'll never stop believing that you're capable of more. Because that belief becomes your compass when life gets dark. It's the light that guides you through every storm. You have to make a decision, a deep, unshakable decision, to believe in yourself no matter what. No matter what people say, no matter what life throws at you, no matter how long it takes. Because the moment you decide to believe, truly believe, everything changes. You stop hoping for success and start expecting it. You stop chasing validation and start creating results. You stop doubting your potential and start living it. And that's the beauty of belief. It doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you are. It transforms your posture, your energy, your spirit. It gives you power over fear and purpose over pain. It turns setbacks into lessons and obstacles into opportunity. That's how unstoppable people are made, from the inside out. So no matter where you are right now, whether people believe in you or not, promise yourself this: you will believe in you. You will stand tall when they doubt. You will stay strong when it gets hard. You will bet on yourself even when the odds are against you. Because the world doesn't decide your destiny. You do. And the moment you decide to believe in yourself fully, completely, unapologetically, that's the moment you become truly unstoppable. An unstoppable mindset is built on one core principle: relentless perseverance. It's the ability to keep moving forward no matter how hard life hits you. It's refusing to quit even when the road gets dark, even when your body is tired, and even when your heart feels broken. Perseverance is not about speed, it's about endurance. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about your refusal to stop until you do. Most people quit not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience and persistence. They stop right before the breakthrough, right before the reward. But the unstoppable ones, they keep going when everyone else gives up. They dig deep when the pain gets real. They hold on when there's nothing left to hold on to except faith. Perseverance is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's forged in failure, molded in discomfort, and tested in adversity. You can't develop perseverance going right. You build it when life gets unfair, when the odds are stacked against you, when you fall and have to get back up again. Every time you push through the struggle, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you choose not to quit, you add another layer to your resilience. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not perfection, but persistence. See, life will test you. It will throw setbacks, heartbreaks, and disappointments your way. It will push you to your limits just to see if you really want it. The question is, will you give up or will you grow? Perseverance means that no matter what happens, you refuse to surrender. You might slow down, you might stumble, but you never stop moving. You keep crawling forward, inch by inch if you have to. Because you know that as long as you're still in the fight, you still have a chance. Chance, the mindset that separates dreamers from achievers, persistence through pain. The truth is, perseverance isn't glamorous. It doesn't always come with applause or recognition. Most of the time it's lonely. It's quiet. It's you versus you. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's working late when no one cares. It's fighting battles that no one sees. But that's what greatness requires. Because real success is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows. In those private moments where you choose to keep going despite every reason to stop. When you develop perseverance, you develop mental toughness. You stop breaking under pressure. You stop letting temporary pain destroy permanent goals. You learn how to stay calm in chaos, how to breathe when it hurts, how to keep your eyes on the vision when everything around you is falling apart. You start to realize that the hardest moments are often the most defining ones. When you feel like you can't take one more step, that's exactly when you must take it. Because that extra step, that last bit of effort, that's where breakthroughs are born. Perseverance is what keeps you grinding when the excitement is gone. It's what makes you get up after failure number 10, 20, or 50. Because the truth is, success doesn't belong to the smartest or the most talented. It belongs to the most consistent. It belongs to those who refuse to give up. Every legend you admire, from athletes to inventors to entrepreneurs, has one thing in common. They didn't stop. When others gave up, they stayed. When others said it's impossible, they said, oh, watch me. That's the essence of perseverance, turning the I can't into I will. You have to understand that perseverance isn't about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about deciding that the pain won't win. It's about embracing the struggle and using it to fuel your determination. When life gets tough, most people run from it. But the unstoppable ones run through it. They know that every storm eventually passes, and when it does, they'll be stronger because they didn't let it break them. Perseverance turns adversity into advantage, pain into power, and struggle into strength. Every time you face a challenge, you have two choices: quit or continue. Quitting promises comfort now, but guarantees regret later. Continuing hurts now, but brings growth later. The difference between those who win and those who don't is that winners choose to endure. They understand that perseverance isn't a one-time act. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily decision to show up, even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when the world tells you it's over. Perseverance is built one day at a time, one choice at a time, one step at a time. There'll be times when you'll question yourself, times when the progress is slow, when it feels like nothing's working. You'll think, maybe I'm not meant for this. Sure, that's when you need to remind yourself progress doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Growth isn't always visible. Sometimes it's happening beneath the surface. Perseverance means trusting the process even when the results are invisible. It's believing that every ounce of effort is adding up, even if you can't see it yet. Most people want the reward, but not the work. They want the success, but not the struggle. But you can't have one without the other. The road to success is paved with persistence. You'll fall, you'll fail, you'll doubt, but you'll rise. Every time you fall and get back up, you prove to yourself that you're built for this. That's how perseverance shapes you. It builds a version of you that's too strong to be stopped. Think about it. Every great story has moments of struggle. Every hero faces trials. Every champion fights through losses. That's what makes their victory powerful. Without struggle, success has no meaning. Without perseverance, progress has no soul. The fight, the grind, the resilience, that's what defines your journey. That's what makes your victory worth celebrating. So when life hits you hard, don't ask, oh, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Because every hardship carries a lesson, and every lesson prepares you for greatness. Perseverance isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. It's about developing character, strength, and patience. It's about realizing that you're stronger than you think. Every time you push through the pain, you discover another level of power within you. You start to understand that limits only exist in the mind. You begin to see that you can endure more, fight harder, and last longer than you ever imagined. That realization that you can't be broken, that's where unstoppable is born. You've got to make up your mind that quitting is not an option. That no matter how hard it gets, you'll keep showing up. Even if you have to crawl, even if you have to cry, even if you have to start over again and again, you keep moving. Because every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your destiny. You can't lose if you refuse to stop. You can't fail if you keep learning. You can't be defeated if you keep rising. That's perseverance. The refusal to life end your story before you finish it. Sometimes, perseverance is quiet. It's not loud, it's not dramatic. It's the strength to wake up and face another day. It's the courage to smile through pain. It's the patience to wait for your season. It's the humility to keep learning while others are celebrating. Perseverance doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it looks like just not giving up today. And that's enough. Because when you stack enough of those are just one more day moments, they turn into a lifetime of resilience. You gotta understand, perseverance is power. It's the ability to keep believing when everyone else doubts, to keep fighting when everyone else stops. It's not about being fearless. It's about being faithful. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Every step you take, every battle you survive, every tear you wipe away, it all builds you. And one day you'll look back and realize that what once felt like your breaking point was actually your turning point. So when life gets heavy, when the path feels impossible, when the pain feels endless, keep going. Don't let the storm convince you it's the end. Don't let the struggle make you forget your strength. You've come too far to give up now. Perseverance is your superpower. It's what turns your scars into stories, your failures into fuel, and your pain into purpose. Keep moving. Keep believing. Keep fighting. Because the moment you decide that nothing can make you quit, that's the moment you become truly unstoppable. An unstoppable mindset isn't something you inherit. It's something you build every single day through discipline. Discipline is the silent engine behind every success story, the invisible force that turns potential into power and dreams into achievements. Without discipline, talent is wasted, motivation fades, and goals remain fantasies. Discipline is what makes you get up when you don't feel like it. Stay focused when distractions call your name, and push forward when the excitement is gone. It's the foundation of greatness, the commitment to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or exhausting. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't happen in front of the cameras or in moments of applause. It's built in the quiet, in early mornings, when everyone else is asleep, in the moments when no one's watching, and in the decisions you make when no one will ever know. The truth is, success is not achieved in one grand act. It's achieved through thousands of small, disciplined actions taken consistently over time. You don't become unstoppable because of one big victory. You become unstoppable because you refuse to skip the small steps that lead there. A lot of people think motivation is what drives success. They wait for inspiration to strike before they act. But the unstoppable ones know better. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Motivation is temporary. It's emotional. It comes and goes. But discipline is constant. It's the muscle you train that works even when motivation is gone. When you're tired, discipline moves you. When you're uninspired, discipline reminds you of your mission. When life gets heavy, discipline carries you through. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's about setting standards for yourself that don't depend on how you feel. About doing what's necessary, not what's easy. You might not always feel strong, but discipline doesn't require strength. It requires consistency. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you strengthen your resolve. Every time you choose effort over comfort, you grow. That's how you train your mind to become unstoppable. Through repetition, through accountability, through daily grind, discipline demands sacrifice. It means giving up momentary pleasures for long-term fulfillment. It means saying no to distractions, no to excuses, no to shortcuts. It means understanding that you can't have everything, but you can have what you work for. Success doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who earn it through disciplined action. Every day you delay, every day you procrastinate, every day you give into comfort. You move further from your goals. But every day you stay disciplined, you build momentum. And momentum turns into mastery. The most dangerous phrase in the world is "I'll do it later." That's the voice of comfort, the voice of weakness, the voice that kills dreams. Discipline silences that voice. It says, "I know, I'll do it now," because later turns into never. It never turns into regret. You have to train your mind to act, not react. To commit, not hesitate. To follow through, not give up. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. And execution requires discipline. Daily, unwavering, relentless discipline. When you're disciplined, you develop control over your mind, your body, and your emotions. You stop being a prisoner to your feelings. You don't let laziness win. You don't let doubt decide. You become the master of your actions. Discipline gives you freedom, the freedom to live life on your terms because you've earned it through consistency. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's having the power to do what you must, no matter how you feel. That's what discipline gives you: control, focus, and strength. You got to understand that discipline and pain are connected. You either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Discipline may hurt today, but it pays off forever. Every rep in the gym, every late night study session, every extra hour at work, it all compounds. It all builds your future. It all makes you stronger. The people who win in life aren't necessarily the most gifted. They're the ones who stay disciplined when others stop. They kept working when it was hard, when it was boring, when it felt impossible. That's the power of consistency. That's how discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Think about the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most impactful leaders. What do they all have in common? Discipline. Kobe Bryant didn't become a Mamba because of talent alone. He became a legend because of his discipline, showing up to train at 4 a.m. when others were still sleeping. Steve Jobs didn't create Apple by working when it was convenient. He was obsessed, disciplined, and relentless. Eric Thomas didn't become a hip-hop preacher because life was easy. He built his legacy through years of disciplined grind, showing up every single day with passion and purpose. Discipline is the currency of success, the price you must pay for greatness. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't something you find. It's something you choose. It's a decision you make every single day. It's a mindset that said, no matter how I feel, I'm going to do what needs to be done. You have to train yourself to operate based on your purpose, not your emotion. Not your emotion. Because emotions change. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, and other days you'll feel like quitting. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. It cares about commitment. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent enough that even on your worst days, you still move forward. You see, discipline builds confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you trust yourself more. Every time you follow through, your self-respect grows. And that self-respect becomes your armor. It becomes the foundation of your unstoppable mindset. Because once you trust yourself to show up, you become dangerous. You stop waiting for external motivation. You stop relying on others to push you. You start becoming self-driven, self-motivated, self-reliant. Discipline gives you that internal power that can't be taken away. The key is to start small. Discipline doesn't mean doing everything at once. It means mastering one thing at a time. Wake up early. Stick to your goal. Keep your word. Show up when you say you will. These small acts of self-control build momentum. Over time, they rewire your brain to act, not avoid. They train your body to move, not resist. Discipline compound. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the habits you built through discipline turned you into the person you always dreamed of becoming. Don't confuse discipline with punishment. Discipline is love. Love for your future self. Every time you say no to laziness, you're saying yes to success. Every time you choose work over distraction, you're investing in your destiny. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. It's the foundation of every transformation. Without it, nothing grows. But with it, everything changes. There will be days when it's tough. Days when your mind tells you to rest. When your body wants to quit. That's when discipline matters most. Because it's not discipline when it's easy. It's discipline when it's hard. It's when you're tired but still show up. It's when you're discouraged but still keep moving. It's when no one believes in you but you still believe in the grind. That's when discipline shapes your character. That's when you evolve from ordinary to unstoppable. Discipline also teaches patience. Because in today's world, everyone wants instant results. Fast success, fast money, fast fame. But real growth takes time. Discipline reminds you to play the long game, to focus on consistency, not shortcuts. To understand that every day you stay committed, you're moving closer, even if progress feels slow. Discipline is knowing that slow growth is still growth, and that steady effort always wins over sporadic bursts of motivation. At the end of the day, discipline is a choice. A decision to keep showing up, to keep grinding, to keep believing. It's about living intentionally, not emotionally. It's about remembering that greatness isn't built on what you do once. It's built on what you do daily. The unstoppable mindset thrives on discipline because discipline builds structure, and structure creates freedom. Freedom to achieve, freedom to grow, freedom to live with purpose. So if you want to be unstoppable, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for motivation. Start building discipline. Today, right now, do the work even when you don't feel like it. Stay focused when distractions pull at you. Keep your word when no one's watching. Be consistent when no one's clapping. Because when you master discipline, you master your life. And that's the secret. Discipline is the difference between dreaming and doing, between wishing and winning, between ordinary and extraordinary. The moment you choose discipline over comfort, you start becoming unstoppable. Not just for a day, but for life. At the end of it all, an unstoppable mindset isn't just about success. It's about transformation. It's about who you become in the process of refusing to quit. It's about the version of yourself that rises from the ashes after every fall. The person who learns to turn pain into progress and failure into fire. Life will not hand you anything. It will test you, challenge you, and at times break you down to your knees. But that's where the magic happens. In the breaking, you find your strength. In the struggle, you find your purpose. And in the persistence, you discover that you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be unstoppable. When you develop an unstoppable mindset, you stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. You stop letting fear dictate your decisions. You stop living by emotions and start living by principles. You begin to understand that pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. That failure is not your defeat. It's your lesson. Every setback, every rejection, every disappointment has a reason behind it. They are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to prepare you. The universe doesn't give easy battles to strong people. It makes people strong through hard battles. Every scar you carry is a sign that you fought, that you endure, that you didn't give up when you could have. The unstoppable ones are not made of something special. They are made of choices, daily, consistent, disciplined choices. They decide to get up when they're tired. They decide to keep going when others stop. They decide to believe in themselves when no one else does. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They don't ask for opportunities. They earn them. They don't cry about obstacles. They overcome them. And that's what separates them from the rest. Not luck, not talent, but an unshakable commitment to keep moving forward, no matter what stands in their way. You see, an unstoppable mindset is not about never feeling fear, doubt, or pain. It's about feeling all of that and still pushing forward anyway. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to take the next step even when fear is screaming in your ear. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means you refuse to let fear control you. The difference between people who succeed and people who quit is simple. One listens to fear, the other moves through it. The unstoppable mind doesn't let fear be the driver. It lets purpose take the wheel. And that purpose, that deep burning why, is what fuels everything. It's what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's what reminds you why you started when things get tough. Purpose gives you power. When you have a reason to wake up, a reason to fight, a reason to suffer, you become dangerous. Because people with purpose don't stop. They may get tired, they may fall, they may even break, but they rebuild stronger. They know that quitting is never an option because there's something bigger at stake. Purpose gives you focus, discipline gives you direction, and perseverance gives you the strength to see it through. Life will test your limits. It will push you harder than you think you can handle. You will face moments where everything seems lost, when your effort feels invisible, when your dreams feel distant, when your heart feels heavy. But in those moments, you have a choice. You can break down and surrender, or you can rise and fight back. Every great person you admire has faced those moments. Every success story has a chapter where giving up would have been easier. But they didn't stop. And that decision, that refusal to quit, is what made them unstoppable. An unstoppable mindset is built on a foundation of faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your process, and faith that what you're working for will eventually come to pass. You may not see the results today or tomorrow or even next month, but every ounce of effort is building something unseen. The progress you don't notice is the progress that transforms you, the unseen work, the unseen effort, the unseen struggle. That's what shapes your destiny. You have to trust that your time will come if you stay consistent, if you stay disciplined, if you stay true to your mission. There will be seasons of loneliness, times when no one understands your vision, times when you'll question if it's even worth it. But that's the price of greatness. The higher the dream, the steeper the climb. But remember, mountains only look impossible from the bottom. As you keep climbing, your perspective changes. What once seemed unreachable becomes possible. And when you finally reach the top, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't the view that changed you. It was the climb. The struggle built your strength. The setbacks built your stamina. The pain built your power. The unstoppable mindset is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about never falling. It's about never staying down. You might take a step back, but you'll always take 2 steps forward. You might bend, but you won't break. You might stumble, but you won't stop. Because deep inside, you know who you are and what you're capable of. You've tasted too much pain to let it go to waste. You've fought too many battles to quit now. You've come too far to stop halfway. So you keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. The truth is, the world doesn't need more talented people. It needs more relentless people. People who refuse to be broken. People who get up no matter how many times they fall. People who live with passion, purpose, and discipline. The world needs you to be unstoppable, because when you are, you inspire others to rise too. Your story, your resilience, your example will show someone else that it's possible. That's how change happens. Not through words, but through action. Through showing others that no matter how dark it gets, the human spirit can always find a way to shine. So as you stand on the battlefield of your dream, you are built for this. You have everything you need within you. The power, the strength, the courage, it's all there. You just have to unlock it through action, through consistency, through faith. Stop waiting for the perfect time because it doesn't exist. The time is now. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Every step matters, every effort counts. Every small win builds your unstoppable spirit. One day you will look back and realize that every hardship you faced was necessary. Every tear had purpose, every failure lesson. The pain you hated was shaping the power you now carry. The moments that broke you were actually molding you. You didn't just survive, you evolved, you evolved. You became someone stronger, wiser, and more focused. That's what an unstoppable mindset is all about, turning every trial into transformation. So no matter what happens, don't stop, don't settle, don't let fear or failure write your story. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by your persistence. Keep pushing forward with heart, with hunger, and with humility. Stay disciplined, stay grateful, and stay grounded. Because the world may doubt you, circumstances may challenge you, but if you believe in yourself, truly believe, there is nothing that can stop you. When it's all said and done, it won't be your achievements that define you. It will be your resilience. It will be your ability to rise again and again, to keep fighting when others walked away. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes your journey powerful. And that's what makes your story worth telling, that no matter what came your way, you never gave up. So stand tall, walk with confidence, love with discipline, lead with purpose. And remember, the unstoppable mindset isn't something you talk about. It's something you live. Every single day and every single decision and every single moment, choose to be unstoppable. Because once you decide that nothing can break you, nothing ever will.